and welcome back to Choice Bits of Bliss. My name is Cilla. This is a different view. Today we are doing a reverse interview. If you saw the title, I will explain what this means. I had come up with an idea of posting some questions in the LoveRTS group. I asked for some people who would like to collaborate, and I wanted to turn the attention back on the community and not specifically on the content creators. You all get to hear our ideas and see how we work when we create videos, but not very often unless you're in communities and are talking and getting to know each of the members, how awesome our community is. And I just wanted to kind of turn the attention back onto our community. I wanted to show our community love and some appreciation, because that is what keeps me engaged in a community, is the dynamic conversations, the chatting about product, about sales, about new releases, techniques, ideas, all of that stuff. I love to talk about it. I love to get my mind just off of real life, and for just a few minutes a day, sometimes it's every couple of days. I don't always get to be on social media, but when I have time, I love to just get my mind into my hobby. And our community is just amazing that way. And I appreciate every single person who shares in that way. I think it's really dynamic. I came up with 10 questions that we posted in the LoveRTS group, and I want to take a second and just kind of explain why we chose the LoveRTS group. It's simply because we needed one location so that all of the content creators that are going to participate in this video series, no, I'm sorry, not a series, in this hop, one location to find the answers and the questions, so it just cuts down the chaos. And we also needed to be respectful and mindful that other communities may not welcome this type of content in their stream. So we just decided on one location, and that was LoveRTS. Let's jump into the questions. Now I'm going to be looking down because I've got notes, so I'm not ignoring you. I'm just reading. How have the industry changes affected the way you document memories? Now, I'll be honest, some of these questions I've wanted them to be vague on purpose to generate conversation and for people to interpret them the way they interpret them, and then to reply in that way, because it just lets the answers go off in so many different directions. And then reading somebody else's reply sparks another conversation. I love that stuff. Anyway, so Heather Bellinger said, I miss local scrapbook stores. I bought more when I could touch it and feel it. And I thought that was extremely interesting. Carrie Lynn Kimmick said, cost is definitely a factor. I stamp, die cut, fussy cut, and make embellishments more often. And she is in Canada, and in her reply, she mentioned the fact that international scrapbookers often have a difficult time finding product or getting product, and the cost, shipping costs included. You know, if you're shipping from any other country, the shipping costs they're prohibitive sometimes. One of the things that I was thinking when I asked that question is, it is very different these days in that we just have rapid fire releases. It makes it really difficult to stay on top of what's new, to get what is coming out if you're interested in it. And that for me makes it a little bit overwhelming. The second question was, what inspires you to create? Anne Furtado said the product, and she was really specific about the product. Pretty paper, color, cute embellishment, themes that spark memories. These are some things that she was talking about when she said the product. Several mentioned drawing inspiration from videos and their own photos. Karen Williams said, finished layouts, unexpected titles, new ways to include difficult memorabilia, and she put in parentheses 60s to the 80s. Handmade embellishments, seeing someone think outside the box. And I have to agree with that. When I see somebody do something that's innovative and that's new and different, man, that lights my fire. Number 3, what product, theme, or color do you wish you could find more of? I thought it was funny. One of the very first answers was like less pink. This was mentioned a couple of times. River collections instead of lake, and pool, not beach. RV life was mentioned. Gender neutral kid products. Navy was mentioned many times. And I thought it was interesting because I agree with this. I would like to see a masculine collection that's not dark. I just find really super dark tone on tone papers difficult to use. I'm not describing that well. Like when you do black, brown, blue, check, or something like that, that's difficult for me to use. I do not know where to look on this camera to do this interview. And that's, I'm sure, obvious. So, number 4, who is your favorite designer? And oh my goodness, the answers were just, there was this one I can remember when we posted it. It was a lot of answers quickly. People were replying pretty fast. And the answers ran the gamut. They said a lot of specific designers like Paige Evans, Becky Bitting, Stephen Duncan, Kim and Kim, who designed for the Hip Kit Club, Katie Petite, Chamel, and then a lot of brands, manufacturers were mentioned, like 49 and Market, Echo Park, Mente, P13. And I think what the takeaway is that we love the stuff. So, and we love our designers. Number 5, what product do you hoard? And hands down, paper won that contest. It was the most popular answer. An answer that I thought was interesting was adhesive. I never really have considered myself hoarding adhesive, but I will say if a new adhesive comes out on the market, I'll buy it. And then if I don't use it and I don't like it particularly, it just sits and sits. I don't know what to think about that. Just thought I'd tell you. Number 6, what is your favorite go-to technique? Melissa Justice said stitching, but it takes a lot of time. And so another one would be washi on a white strip of paper. And I'm trying to remember so Janet kind of told us about this technique, but she always gives credit to another content creator. And I can't remember. Dang it, I'm sorry. But it just makes the color pop in washi if you put it on white cardstock and then adhere it. This one I thought was really interesting. Regina Ganaway said, at the moment, it's border or framing my layout. If you heard rustling, I don't have a mouse. Well, I might. I don't know. But that was my husband. So anyway, back to where we were before we got interrupted. The one I thought was interesting was Regina Ganaway said, at the moment, it's border framing my layout. And I loved that she said at the moment, because I think a lot of us do that. We find something that works and we enjoy doing it. It looks good. We like it. So we do it a lot, and it changes over time. How would you describe, this is number 7. How would you describe your personal creative style? All right, this cracked me up. Sherry, Chris, Jamie, and Laurie all described theirs as a hot mess. I resonate with that. Elizabeth Moore said linear clean. Someone once said editorial. And when I read her comment, I thought that reminds me of Kathy Zilski back when she scrapbooked. She's a card maker now, but years ago when she scrapbooked, her style was definitely editorial. I would definitely describe it as editorial because it was very clean and looked like a magazine layout. And I liked that style. Like looking at it, I don't create that way, but I loved looking at her layouts. Excuse me. And Carolyn, it's either Caroline or Carolyn Sky, said her personal style is messy, layered colors. And I liked that description as well. Number 8, what is your favorite topic or event to create about? Lucinda Brown said Christmas and her 18-year-old Siamese cat. Isn't that fantastic? That's amazing to be able to have a fur baby that long. And Sherry Maisel said my family, and that's, I think, resonates with a lot of us, that our photos of our family, those that we love, that we're connected to, that inspires us. It makes us want to get in there, and I think that's probably originally why we all started. Number 9, what time of day do you feel most creative? This is another one that made me laugh. Susanna Gomez said middle of the day while I'm at work, and I died laughing when I read that because I've done the same thing. I've been at work and see something that reminds me of paper or makes me want to create, or I'm just thinking and go off in la la land, and I'm like, oh, I want to be in my scrapbook room right now. And I'm at work again, so I totally get that. Number 10, do you write down or sketch out creative ideas? Karen Williams says she keeps screenshots or photos on her phone, and I think that is a really handy way because we typically always have our phones with us now, especially if you have a smartphone. That's an easy way to just bloop, you've got that idea that you can refer back to. And Jennifer Valentine said yes, or it's gone forever. And I think a lot of us resonate with that as well. Well, friends, that was the end of the 10 questions. And thank you so much for replying in the stream. This has been going on since, my goodness, I think we started this back in June. So we were doing this June, July, and August. Thank you. Thank you so much for replying. For every time that we post anything or that you post and get the conversation going and keeping our community engaging, man, that's just awesome. I love that. So I hope you feel some love today because I truly, truly do appreciate you, and I appreciate being able to interact with you. Thank you so, so much. You know what I'm going to say. We will chat again soon. I promise. Bye-bye.